So Anaconda. Why Anaconda? Because why not? Because I can do Dars, Anaconda, and all things. That's the recent research what I'm after, and so I'm the guy that goes defensive, very like, let's say left, but it's not a political term. Yeah, like I go left with that. We call it in Estonia. So I do it too much just for a research, and you should have your own opinion how much you want to use it, how much you want to roll this way, but definitely it should be there. So I'm not advocating you roll like me. I'm doing it just for a purpose. Why defense? Because defense makes attacks better, and if you have a good Anaconda defense, then training Anacondas will be interesting forever, because defense gets up, you're interested again how to do Anacondas, and it keeps the jiu-jitsu away from the technique trap that you have to learn always new techniques. If you introduce the defense to arm bars are interesting forever. Try to arm bar somebody really good at arm bars, and you can train that fundamental thing forever. Otherwise, if you don't teach defense, let's say enough, then you have a tendency to fall into technique trap, because people get bored. You have to new things, yeah. So that's also why I do defense, and it's fun to survive. And also today's objective is you will not get it, yeah. So don't get your hopes up. In that sense, because you need more training for this. But what you get today, objective, I hope I will make you feel more safe in those submissions, and I will make you question that yes, there's a way to be inside submissions and feel safe, and you don't have to tap, and yes, the rabbit hole goes deeper, and that's the objective of this class. It gets you interested that it's possible, that you don't have to tap that early. Or there's a ways to be inside submissions that are weird and that are canceling the attacks. And then the attacker actually gets way better. So I did it in my club, let's say, I usually teach defense in my club, like I say, submissions. Then 2 months, everybody actually trained 2 months Darces, yeah? So, and then everybody was interested, 2 months, because escapes got better all the time. So if I teach defense, I actually teach 2 things. If you teach attacks, you only teach 1 because everybody gets bored and defense will not go up. So it's a weird how to do it, kind of like a counterintuitive. Anyway, let's do Anaconda. Whichever way you want to do it, doesn't matter. You squeeze and you don't have to, have a perfect tap, but you feel like, oh, it's already on, you tap. So let's start, usually. So whatever the version is, if you are a more advanced person, the turtle, advanced person, yeah? Turn to me, yes. So. Then you can do your own setups. You can turn this way, you can tilt from here and roll them over, whatever the version it is, who cares? And basically you do this, yeah, let's fall. And you have this, whichever way you want to do it, doesn't matter really. Then you triangle your arms, and wait, not you. And then you squeeze, yeah? You can walk in the legs a little bit, give me the legs. There's a version that you get those things, you can squeeze more. There's versions that you don't have to have that. And just squeeze and they will just tell you, yes. And if you tap against me, yeah, not on the mat, because you will mistake that sometimes somebody else did it, and always tap something to person, even with legs or mostly this. So go left and right, and understand the submission, understand the threat, and squeeze enough, and don't get neck ranked and all those things. So 2 minutes, maybe back and forth, get everybody on the same page. Let's go. This is how I usually teach. We try always, and you feeling incompetent is expected if you have done this. And this is a wonderful feeling. You will experience that less if you do jiu-jitsu. I think if you learn less new things, but this feeling of I just saw it, and then it's like my arms are not doing what he showed, yeah? So now I show it again. Now we have context. So from front, usually it's front. If you do it from this side, it's Dars. So from front, you do it this, arm in, yeah? And you can lock it here already if you want. You really get a good grip, lock it, and then you fall. You can fall on both sides, but this is the side usually you want to end up, that their arm is up, yeah? And have a good grip, fingers, everything, not like shallow. And then you just squeeze. And that's, one more time, now our context. So front turtle, go good grips, like a swan, whatever the monkey grips or swan, whatever somebody calls them. You have this and then you fall. And then you squeeze. So let's go, switch fast. And B, do it again. So Anaconda, some people do it more, some people less. I'm after all the triangles these days. I let people almost triangle me, and arm triangles and darces, marces, barces, larces, Peruvian neckties, and all those neck things anyway. So that's kind of fun to try those things and get out of different arm triangles. And there's a system, and you can survive, and it's fun to suffer, so to speak. I don't know why I want to do it, but I recommend it, but it's not the easiest ways. But as a trick answer, I would usually ask people, or question is, which one you want? Either you can tap everybody, that's a superpower, or nobody can tap you. Which one you're gonna pick? So I'm the one that wants to pick that nobody can tap me, because it's mentally exhausting to fight somebody that you know you cannot beat. The fight is over before it begins. Because if you see a way, your still motivation is up. But if you take that away from them, that it's really hard to tap me. You go like, how do you fight Caritonon? Like, how do you find a way? It's just like the guy is a wizard, And I think it's very mentally very hard to fight those people that are super good in defense. And they can just have their one thing they do, and they do it to you. So it's not the best way, but it's just the way I think about stuff. And I think if the information would be thought out more, we should have better defense quicker. But if it's compared to attacks, what we see in the world, all the guard sequences and all the passing science, the defense is really lacking. It's understudied, like a systematically understudied. And so I'm trying to do my part to up it a little bit. So the information is a little bit up to a bar to the attacks already, because it can be the same systematic as attacks. So that's kind of my thought process. Let's start, I guess. So do it to me. One more, just lay down for a second, turtle. One thing I would say, don't land on your back. So that's one mistake, or so don't land on your back. Yeah. So really land on your side. Yeah. So, and then you go. So landing on your back, it benefits them because they can go other side. They can roll over you and end up in a not so good Anaconda finishing side. So now I give you the position, and I will change the head position. And I would suggest you would suffer and feel they cannot finish. And so inside the submission, I change something. And then you go like, doesn't work anymore. So this is a very interesting information that shows that how we can mess with that and just feel safe. And if you know the very famous jiu-jitsu saying, the purpose of jiu-jitsu, one of them, I guess, is to be comfortable in a very uncomfortable situations, yeah? Like you can go, okay, side control. But I don't think it gets any more uncomfortable than being inside the ending, finishing stage of submission. That's like taking that theory to the super extreme. And finding in a really end stage of submission, I'm like, I don't care. So I want to push the envelope, that how uncomfortable where we can still be comfortable. And then side control is like easy, because for a lot of people, side control is the most uncomfortable thing, and in submissions they tap. But I'm going to say with submissions, we should also be comfortable. And I think it's a very wonderful thing we can teach. Anyway, Anaconda, so which way you want to do it? Go. And that's fall here, go. Wait, don't squeeze. Let's wait a little bit. So, squeeze. Good, yeah, so hold on tight. Wait, not that tight. So, now we change the head. So right now, if my head is here, squeeze, then it sucks to be there. I will show you also information that maybe helps to also be there. We're kind of experimenting that. But now we're going to change what? Wait. Hold on a little bit, not too tight. We're going to change this. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Yeah. So that I talk because you don't see my voice changing. And then I can, breathe, obviously, and then I can also get out. So and the question is, how do I get there? Because if you're stuck, it's hard to turn. You get there while submission is happening. You just switch the head. So there's many things. We'll see how far we get today. So you have this, squeeze. And you feel like, just don't let go. Just hold on, wait. And then you do this. And then also because usually they want to walk towards you with your legs. Yeah, because they want that leg, yeah? They want to squeeze and wait. They want to make you as a pretzel. So usually this helps. Yeah? Squeeze. And then 10 out of 10, I can pull my head out. So it's really 10 out of 10. And it's not like, yeah, Priit, it's like, no, it's 10 out of 10. It's that weird. And it's gonna be a little bit on, you know, squeeze, that's what we do jiu-jitsu, but it's not gonna be that one that taps you. And so start a little bit, you know, squeeze and then turn the head, suffer, and then try to pull your head out in that sequence. Then let them do like fix the head, squeeze more, and walk your head out. And also worry about this, that I'm gonna do this to you. So if you keep your head close, you will get punched in the face. So be worried about, because your head comes out like a, you know, bottle cap. And that hits them in the face. So manage that risk, yeah? If you get punched in the face, not my fault, you've been warned. Okay, so that means you have to make it calm. You have to be responsible, yeah? So try it, this, that, and then I'll explain one more time. Let's go. So, now you suffered a bit. Build the context. What was it? How's the head? And it's a specific way you have to turn the head. That's good again. So first, think about that you're in a, you know, correct side for Anaconda, because if you're other side, we might get there also, because I want to show both sides, but we're not there yet. So don't go to the other side yet. So Anaconda. Go which way? Suck off, please. And let's go. Oh, kill me. So, this is bad, yeah, let's say at the moment, because there's something that interests me here, because with those things. Anyway, you can also see that in last UFC, there was a main card first fight. There was a lot of interesting stuff going on there, actually, in jiu-jitsu wise. So, now, wait. You want to do, wait, don't let go, just hold the grip. You want to do this. You want to do this. And now they're squeezing there. Squeeze. Nothing there, yeah? So here, go. And now they're squeezing around the neck. You can change that. Super weird. And just, yeah, this, usually they walk towards you, yeah? Because they want to, you know, pretzel you. Wait. They want to pretzel you. They want to get your legs and everything else. So that's why the arm is there. Super annoying also. Go. So walk towards me. See? And now, stop. Just move. Don't move. And now, if my arm is here, and now I walk in a bit myself, and I curve my body. And that's enough. Sometimes it gets like a little bit like stuck up the head, and then you just, now it's out already. And then comes the head putt. Boom. And now I David Rich and fight for top. So depends also that when depends also when they let go, and when I let go, they have to fight for top, and you know, because they don't want to end up in bottom. They take a risk, Anaconda, and another bottom, it's a bad risk. Yeah, so you have to know when to let go. And this also teaches him a lot of things, when to let go. And that's the greatest skill in life also, yeah? To just when to let go of things. Yeah, you usually hold on too tight, and then you go like, oh shit. Yeah, so that's in jiu-jitsu also. You almost had a submission, you see them going, but your ego kicks in, let's squeeze more. And then you lose everything, end up in a side control bottom, yeah? So that's the lessons you learn in jiu-jitsu really, you know, you can really fast, so to speak, that when to let go, it's gone. And also I don't, my philosophy is also that I don't like to finish first submissions I get. In jiu-jitsu it's weird, but in boxing, let's say, you never think about hitting somebody with a first punch. In that sense, you know, you think about combinations. 1, 2, and then, you know, hook and a leg kick supposed to hit very hard. Everything else is a setup first. So in jiu-jitsu, usually what we teach is like you got an Anaconda and you have to finish, because it's a, you know, submission. But I like to think that this Anaconda is a setup for something else, because I expect a good defense. I expect him to do stuff, and then I go Anaconda, darts, guillotine, and maybe something else, and then I finish. So, and if the defense is not there, you will not force an attacker to develop that combination attacks. If the defense kicks in, then they have to adapt, because first submission is just attack to make me react, expose myself, yeah, to defend that first attack, and then they go to combinations. So, and then that means I think in this way that this prepares him for the better future, to expect. Because if he expects to right away to finish the first thing, that's the future I think is wrong. That's also what we see in high-level competitions where people know how to escape. It's a chain of submissions that will happen. So how do we create that environment in the first day? by teaching good defense also, including jiu-jitsu. So they, right away, Anaconda, Darce, guillotine, that's the finish. So we change environment, we change people in behavior also. So other way, I would just say Natrats will change the behavior because I just force them to, like, change submissions. But if nobody defends, defends well, you don't force yourself so easy to develop submissions because they don't do a good defense. So that's kind of, how I think about things. So it's very, very crucial for a top guy to understand this, because my job is to teach you how to expect the right future. And this I have to train 10 years, and then in the highest level you see submission hunting. Just submission after submission after submission, and finally they get it. So how do we create that? So that's one of the answers I'm trying to present. Anyway, one more time, do the same thing. Go. So this is already too late, yeah, so wait. So first, you can also, already during the falls, you can end up here. But I'm not going to talk about it, I'm going to just show you. I'm going to make you trust this position. So first, your first objective is to survive. Squeeze. And you go like, all good, yeah? And then you start to get out a little bit. You have a short neck, also helps. This is more fun, I do this. But for you, just short neck. You can have this also as an opening. And just you survive, and then you start to think about top. So have that context. First objective, survive. Second objective, get out. Or third, if let's say somebody's neck hurts or whatever, you're not willing to do this. The third objective would be, I put him in a situation that he feels he cannot finish. So he lets go and fights for top. We do that kind of drill, and there's some kind of side control happening. So he trains to stay on top, I train to get some side control, and we're all safe. I will give you the third option also after 5 minutes, that what could happen also there. Because I want you to be safe after submission escape, even if you end up in bottom. Okay, so kind of two objectives. If you know third one, if you understand it, you can do it also. So let's go, try. So, this class is a beginner class, but if you're a more advanced person, yeah, I like to call it advanced person. Yeah, it's a joke, no? Okay. No good jokes here, so very serious in Poland over here. Then you can have I can give you like a little bit more open ending or beginning kind of idea later also. Because if you right away put your head there, they're not taking Anaconda. But I haven't found a better way to start, and I just enjoy this start. But it also creates problems because you have questions, how do I turn my head? Because I get stuck. So I will answer also that. And that requires him to be stubborn and not knowing jiu-jitsu a little bit. Because he will actually not take the Anaconda. Because there's ways I can give the head position, or it's like, I'm not going to do it. And it's very interesting defensive information. Anyway, about the head pulling. So I hope it works also against you. And also, if it doesn't work, we're going to change the topic of the class, yeah? So I have to be honest about it. Because I don't know. This is just version 1. So, yeah, wait. So, my head position has to be here. Squeeze. And now everything is fine, yeah? This is I like to be here. It's kind of like weird. And then I can do this, squeeze. It becomes harder, but still possible, yeah? So then it becomes, what, squeeze. Go. See, it's like there's a moment, yeah? There's like a little bit, it's not out yet. So you can have a crane neck, you can have this, and the head kind of, if I stretch, I get stuck. So it's like somebody wants to headlock you, you know? And you go like, and they can't headlock you. If you have that crane neck, they can headlock you better. So then your thing is also to experience what kind of grips you can give him. This or this, they right away feel that they already did a bit around here and you have more time. I do this, it's more fun. Literally, it's more fun because I tap more. And I have to be better finding good angles and stuff, so I like to suffer there. And it builds character, I would say, yeah? And then, yeah, so what else? If I right away, so this is more advanced information you can try. And I recommend him to take the Anaconda even if he doesn't feel like it. So, go, underneath, go. And right now, go take the Anaconda. If I do this, go. Then now I'm, wait, come back. Now I lose, yeah? Now I do this.
I wouldn't take it.
I know. So, but I ask you too, that you take it. So, wait, and then we land in that position. So that's why that's why when it happens, when you, during that roll, you already give that, and then you fall, it's already right position. And then I give you also what happens when, you know, that doesn't work. But first of all, it's like giving that. It's already there. And if they take it, they're like giving me the good head position, and soon this attack will be weeded out. So they know actually more about now, even today, like, oh, Anaconda is like, I need your head here and there. They find out more things. So if you want that, you can have a, now go back. That's why I also like to go teach backwards. I don't do this setup and then Anaconda. I do Anaconda and then I move to the setup. So I'm moving backwards with this. It's a fun methodology. So if you know this, good head position, then I ask you, you can try this. You know, maybe you shot the double leg or something, you reach, the reaching comes with the responsibilities. So wait, and don't, so I right away do this head position, go. Because later, they will become those counterattacks also, if you're faster a bit. See? So you can play with that. So they will take a weird Anaconda because they feel the head is already wrong, but please take it, fall, and you have this, and you can already escape. Escape when you fall, escape, or escape during the fall already. So you have, you know, white belts, blue belts, black belts. You can have different kind of understanding here. So take the simplest, do it, not a step higher, not a step. Don't just go like, I want to try the craziest option. Yeah, you will fail. Yeah, but it's not fun. It's not bad to try, but then go back. Okay, so play around with that idea. Let's go. So I give you the third option. I don't know what's going to happen, but we'll see what's going to happen. So I'm going to escape, and I'm going to not get to top, and I will ask him, without killing me, if he feels I'm escaping, to get on top. And this is a very important thing that we have to train, because I have to give you context that what happens afterwards. What's the future? You have to expect. Because me showing that I escaped Anaconda and right away on the top, that means he was stubborn. That was his mistake. And I end up in top. Because think about how crazy the situation is. I was in a deep Anaconda, and now I'm side control top. This is like all stars are aligned, yeah? Everything like works out for you. This is very unlikely. So it happens when they're stubborn. End of the match, maybe you don't want to really do it because they're losing points and everything else. You know, they're tired. They don't think anymore straight. Why not? But this is not what should happen with an equally leveled opponent who's fresh. So now, Anaconda, I do my escape. Yeah, let me out. And then I will let him, you know, take the top. We'll see what happens. Yeah? So go. Let's go. So, wait. Let's do Anaconda. Not too early. Wait, give me the head control. Wait. Now, two stop. And now I do this, yeah? So I'm baby bridging. I don't give him crossface underhook. Not in a goddamn million years. Will this happen in Jiu-Jitsu? Yeah, if you know anything about defense. I hate those endings. I cannot say it peacefully because I really hate those things. Because in every goddamn submission or thing in YouTube ends me being this, he gets crossed as underhook, and then I'm complaining Jiu-Jitsu is hard. So, baby rich, and you're good. He has nothing, I'm good in here, and then we fight on, yeah? And so I can also do like turn away hooking, let's begin. So, let's fall. Get on top. I can also do, I can fall to the hawking stuff, and I'm still not flat. I will control the wrist, and I'm good to go. But I'm not gonna do this. I'm gonna make fun of it, because I want to be traumatized by this. Let's fall. Escape. Yeah, if this happens, this is like, yeah, from his part is good. But I have to do like 5 mistakes in a row to end up in this position, literally. So how I'm doing that, I got submission, and then I get to 5 more escapes. Mistakes, and then I end up there. So it can happen, but it's a super exception. So he should expect me baby breaching, turtling, turning away with hawking, let's say, and then that's what he has to expect. And everything else is an exception from that. And then game continues. So, and I will teach him to expect the right future against a good defensive person. Because if I teach you underhook and crossface, and then you meet me, and then the stuff you learned is not working the way somebody showed you, then you think it's your fault. Because that's the one that was taught to me, and you never get it. So, but maybe it was taught like a wrong future to expect, and it's not your fault. And that's also I'm telling to beginners a lot of, because sometimes the stuff doesn't work in a sparring this way, because maybe in a way, in the right context, it was taught wrong, to expect the wrong future. Things working differently in sparring. So we should take the sparring, do the experiments, and teach it the way reality works, not the way we want reality to work. So that's how science backwards works. So that's what I have to say about that. So you can do fall, get your head, very easy objective. You can be on turtle and already give them, and then fall and get out, different timing. And then you can go get on top, he's stubborn more. Or let's play this scenario that I escape a little bit, so they get on top, and I do something defensively. Whatever you want to do, but don't just, do crossface underhook, because just you give everything away. What's the point? Yeah? So that's kind of like a gray area. And talk to each other. It's a drill, not like we're fighting. So we can choose different objectives, and we help each other to achieve those objectives. Because the point is to train both of us, actually. Okay? Because he gets better at doing anacondas right now. And also fighting for top for anacondas. So we're both actually learning something by teaching only defense. That's the fun part when you do this. So let's go, objectives, and we have like 5-10 minutes. Switch on your own. So we're doing good. You understand the objective? And I'm really honest about it when I say you don't get it, And I don't think it's a bad thing to say, because you do it for 1 hour and a little bit, and without resistance and all those things, and progressive resistance, and then if you expect, I get it, then it's like, you're not dealing with a future that comes towards you. Because, think about you don't get it, and you have to practice that. And then think about the class objective. Just to understand there's a way to feel so safe in submissions. And this is the evidence. You can test like, yeah, actually I can stay here. Interesting. Maybe there's other places I can do this also. And then you start to believe that. And then, so that's the mainly objective. And then I put it in a class format, so to speak, and I give you techniques and stuff. But just objective is to just make you trust that it's something there. That you can really be comfortable in a super, super uncomfortable position. And that's why we're all here. To push deeper, So, because it becomes, regular side control becomes boring. And if you're like purple belt rolling with white belts, you feel already bored a bit. In a good way, because, I can do it, and it's side control, they don't hold me right, and it's like easy. Give them Anaconda. Give them an armbar. Give them a triangle. And train that with them. That's your opportunity to push the envelope and to go how uncomfortable I can make myself feel and still feel comfortable. And you do that with beginners. Lesser skilled people than you, yeah? So Anaconda, and just, let them go like, and you just feel, because regular side control is boring against them already in sparring. That's natural, yeah? That's not the bad thing to say, just the level is different. So you give them submissions. I promise you, if your white belt puts like a rear naked choke on, it's interesting. Yeah, they can tap you, so you use that, you use the rolls for that. This is what I do. Anyway, so now a couple of more ways I think we have time to figure out. So I use my friend again. So I give you now the experimental stuff. Now I failed probably with tap, but I think there's something there because I've seen visuals of how it works. And I'll just show you that what we're experiencing and what I'm after. And I think it's fun to show that I don't know stuff. And this is also all this, what I'm showing is version 1. Yeah, it's then after a year we have version 2. That's how it goes. And then I know more. And then because right now we're teaching techniques. Yeah, this way how we start teaching answer techniques. Then version 2 is usually we find the glue that unifies the postures. Some kind of common things we do with different kind of movements. And that's version 2. And version 3, we go back to techniques, but with feelings. And it becomes the glue that actually connects all the escapes together when they start to move. That's what we're after. But we can't find it right away. We have to find big pieces and then find the glue. So that's the version 1. So let's try. I will show you something. So let's fall here. And then this is very annoying position, but there's evidence that we can do something like this. Squeeze. And still survive. Yeah? There's something there. There's like a certain hitchhike position and certain necks and stuff. You felt that it's a little bit harder to tap. So we're going a little bit there because this is very bad position on my back and everything. And you see Rafa Mendes and I think Ryder or some wrestler guy in Jiu-Jitsu. I always forget his name. There was a good nogi match, I think, when Rafa did a lot of Anacondas in ADCC and stuff. So he actually has good highlight there. So people get stuck there on their backs. But I think there's some evidence you can play with the shoulder and with a hitchhike that cancels the squeeze actually a little bit. So we're going deeper there. So that's the interest. I tap a lot there actually. So to find out. Now, another thing I can show you. If you can't move your head up, because that's what the problem was, I can't do it. Early, yes. Then you go away from the pressure. And then we call it, let's say, running man. So, or let's say, being, these days I think it's running woman also, or running it, yeah? In Estonia, we don't have she and he. It's very gender neutral language, so it's very progressive. But just let's call it running it, yeah? So I don't hurt anybody's feelings, yeah? So now if I wait, let's turn. Let's wait. So a little bit hold. If I'm here, I can't lift, yeah? Then I go away. I escape that shoulder, go away. And now also squeeze.
Nothing.
I know. So, and still, the arm can be, we're finding out, right, that it's safe to squeeze. And you can go. And now, and see what happened. See what happened, what he did, naturally? He doesn't want me to go there. And then he lifts me up, and then I can lift my head. So he creates space for that. So that's a jab cross system. Because actually, I want to go the other side. I want to go to other Anaconda side that's easier to finish for me, to get out, so to speak. So that's the side he wants to avoid. Because to Anaconda, we have time. And let's fall over. Let's go over a little bit here. So, squeeze. So this he can still win, squeeze. But if I do this, it's harder. So this is the side that's easier for me. Easier to survive. Because it's harder for him to push my head down there. So there's also stuff there. We don't go there because we don't have time. But what you can do is you can go to running it. Stay there and force yourself there. And they have to know right now, they don't want to let you there. The other side. So they usually pull you up again to go to the Anaconda finish. And that's the time they usually head pops up and you can do this stuff again. So understand now why I'm teaching the backwards. I want you to go to that position and be good at that position. And then we're adding context. We're moving backwards. So one more time, slowly. So I still want to do my one thing I can't. Squeeze. I'm going there. And now I want to go belly down, now they lift me up again. That happens. So jab cross, game, very fun. And then you can have context. I win, let's say you're stubborn, I win, top. Let's play scenario, you let go, and at bottom. So make that connection first. What is the scenario, what we want to train? So both can, train. Not like it's a war here, yeah? Because specifics. So, let's go. But then this and here. It opens up more. You can play it without it, but then you suffer more. So use both arms, yeah? So also I don't know what to do with that arm. Kind of bothers me because I'm all about the clicks and I'm all about making sense of things. So I don't like this arm flops around. But this arm goes to the neck. So think about finding use for both. Because we have to fight everything have to fight using everything against them. If they're using all their body, everything, all the good clicks and stuff with good, angles, all the legs and all the squeeze against me, I cannot fight just one arm is just, okay, I don't use that. I have to find everything there's a use. Even without the click, but the arm has to do something to create, so my whole body works against his whole body. If you find something doesn't do anything, just like this, it's like, where should I put it? Because clearly you can use it for your advantage. Okay, so that's the rule usually. So, do it again. So, already, see? And now if you do running man, and you can also do those kind of things. You can keep this more, open. So if this happens, go squeeze. This is also good. This is grabbing the elbow is good, but keep running man, yeah? So don't go like totally belly down. You can in a way, because hold a little bit. You can force him to other side and also let go, or maybe he rolls with you. So there's a, there's a movement there. But running man mainly means like doing this, running it, yeah? So you can have more this. You don't have to go totally belly down. Just escape the pressure and have this. Find a way, maybe this also helps. It just keeps the seatbelt harness open because they want to close it. So you have this, pull the elbow back, attach it to somewhere, your shoulders, or if you find the hip, kind of keeps them away a little bit. And if you call back, then you already has the hip in place. So have that in mind, kind of like I think about, what should I do? And if you as a top person find that they don't use their whole body, stop for a second, go like, hide your arm, grab this. So also be involved in the training. Help them that, dude, think of something to do with that arm. Okay? Because it's overwhelming to have this information, like only if you have to deal with this on your own. Your partner should help. Okay? Let's go. We have 5 minutes. So, I hope I created some interest in you, that you found that, I can actually, if I get my head to that position, I can be safe. The question is, how do I get my head in that position? That's not a question. But I hope I make you believe that if you get there, you're okay there. So there's evidence that there's inside submissions, there's positions that you can be safe. And I know inside the triangle in arm bars, their position, in straight arm, I can play with stuff and I don't feel threatened, so to speak, and I tap when I have to. So there's a weird evidence that I'm very inspired by those things. And I'm going to push the envelope to myself also and then share it with you that we can find way more dangerous things when we can experience jiu-jitsu being comfortable in a super, super uncomfortable positions. And I think that's very fun because if you do jiu-jitsu for a while, you get high when you just escape side control if you're a beginner. But if I get outside control, there's no problem there for me. Let's say, yeah, there's still, I can get stuck, but I don't get a high if I escape. But I get a high when I escape very deep armbar. And that drives me back to the mat. I want to experience that again. That super, super danger, and I get out. It's like, yes, and you're here to experience also that high. And you have to know what you're risking also, because clearly the injury risk with doing that with limbs are more dangerous. With chokes, you just, a little bit, when you pass out or whatever, it's a little bit, safer in that sense. So that was the point of the class. So if I made you curious, then we fulfilled our objective. Anyway, thank you, and the next class.